In Luke, Jesus tells us the greatest commandment is you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. It's an important question in our calling as Christians, as well as in our outreach efforts. What does it mean to be a neighbor? If your church is wrestling with this question, or isn't but it should be, there are a few simple steps that you can start with. First, define who you're talking about when you talk about your neighbors. I see many churches ending up generalizing what it means to be a neighbor, but if we try to be a neighbor to everybody, then we end up being a neighbor to nobody. Now, this isn't to exclude. You can always go back and change your definitions later, but it's better if you're starting with something specific. Once you've defined your neighbors, you have to learn their names. Talk to them. Care. Get to know them. In our call to love our neighbors as ourselves, it's hard to do that if we don't know who they are and even just a little bit about them. Reaching out in love is different when it is a neighbor whose name and needs you know. In all of this, be genuine. Being a good neighbor is done for the purposes of being a good neighbor and building relationship. If the only purpose of loving your neighbor is to get a person to come to your church, that ulterior motive will bubble to the surface and damage the relationship when it does. You can love because you're a Christian, and you can love because it's what we're called to do, but it is not followed up with the condition, if and only if, they'll come to worship in my congregation. So if this has been helpful and you're looking for more, I suggest you check out the book, The Art of Neighboring. It covers all of what I've talked about in more detail, and has great discussion questions at the end for a church or a group who wants to wrestle with this. It's been very helpful for me, and I believe it can be helpful for your congregation as well. So if this is something your church would like to talk through or would like some more conversation with, just reach out at my Synod email, and I'm happy to help you think through what outreach might look like in your context.